That was.
What breed?
Pardon me?
What breed?
Pits.
Oh, okay.
Pit rescues. Yeah, one's very staffy and then one's like,
Is that the ones with the nose?
yeah. They're both so cute, but both full mixes and small, only like 40 pounds. Our previous pet
Yeah,
was like
that's small.
120, so that's what we were
Because they
expecting.
starved it when they were babies.
Probably, honestly, it's so sad. Okay, well, let's get going. I'm gonna call this meeting at 6:03. Welcome, everyone. We have some exciting things. So before we get into roll call, just wanted to point out a few things. One, it is somebody's last meeting. I'm so sad that we've talked about it, but this feels like this is the time. So Sharon, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for what you've done for
I'll be there for that.
a voice of reason in the room. When I just ramble.
The last one from the old.
That was from the original art fair.
That's right.
Well, wow,
I know.
that's a lot of history that we're losing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you change your mind, I don't know what the rules are, but yeah, just thank you so much for your time
You're
and for
welcome.
being a part of the commission. We really appreciate you.
It's nice to get to know everybody.
Do you have any what's your favorite memory all the way, anytime, any year?
Oh, there was a lot of memories, wasn't there, Joe? I don't know. There was just a lot. There was a lot of nice people. And the original art fair, Celebrate Wildwood was good. We had the car show. Remember the car shows there and the parade where the cars.
And the proclamation,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah,
We got a proclamation
Yeah.
from Mayor Boland.
yeah, I have that hanging up. So it's a lot of nice memories. Got to meet a lot of nice people that I wouldn't have gotten to meet and work with Joe, not in Christie.
All right, so there's a little bit of a bad downside. We apologize.
And then we have a new face, Bonnie Sherman, correct? Silverman,
That's
oh,
okay.
sorry, will be appointed to our committee on Monday. So she is getting a little bit of a head start and kind of seeing what we're about. So what ward are you from and how long have you been in Wildwood and a fun fact?
I've been in Wildwood since December of '87. And I live in Point Clayton subdivision. We've lived there, ever since we built the house, so we love it out here and, so we're happy. So I'm happy to do this.
So exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think that's all as far as newness. We obviously have one other new commissioner who I haven't got to meet yet, but she is at the Fox, which wish we were there too. Sorry, Joe. Ooh, great. Can we have the roll call?
Commissioner Slaughter,
Here.
Commissioner Schultz,
Present.
Commissioner Jailing,
Present.
Commissioner Hudson,
Present.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Coleman, Commissioner Lind, Commissioner Siebert,
Here.
Council Liaison Garitano, myself.
Yeah, love it. All right, so approval of the minutes. I now have to sign these minutes, so we better actually really look at them. Did anyone have any comments or anything about last month's minutes? So can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second? Person? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, do we have anyone on Zoom for public comment? Bonnie, technically you count as the public right now. Do you have any public comment?
I don't know enough to comment.
Perfect, great. Just wanna, give you your, don't want anyone coming for you by Robert Rules of Order, so, perfect. I guess we can move on over to item number 5. Is that you, Mr. Bennett? Thank you.
Again, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and members of the commission. I do want to extend my appreciation to Ms. Hudson, as she said. She was part of an original group of volunteers that we solicited through the Wildwood Gazette because we wanted to start a spring festival.
I'm the only one still around.
Yes, you are. Lot of faces over those years,
Yeah.
but Hudson's the survivor, so we appreciate you. We wish you the very best. Hope to see you on another board, commission, committee, task force, or something.
I might.
And Kristen and I would like to welcome you, Ms. Silverman.
Thank you very
I think
much.
You'll find it
Appreciate
a
it.
fun group to work with, and
Thanks.
you do a nice event, I think, when it's all said and done at the end of September.
Thank you.
Tonight, the department has prepared for you under the first agenda item a list of some of the components of our advertising and marketing efforts. I'll briefly go over them and just kind of maybe update a few of them because we are already working with regards to some of them. The pull-out section in the West News magazine, that's probably our key element. As you know, that goes to about 60,000 plus households in the West County area. Pull-out section is at least 8 pages in the past. Has a lot of good articles about the event itself. Includes the map of the facility, the venue grounds, the facility. It's a nice thing to have. We met today with Ms. Huber, who is the owner editor of the West News magazine. She is retaining the prices from last year, so we'll pay the same amount that we paid last year and then do the in-kind, which is half the cost of the pull-out section. So very generous on her part. You're happy to hear that. In terms of the other items, obviously, if you're like a leader newspaper, we've never really kind of explored that to the extent I think we need to. They actually bring copies here to City Hall and leave them up by the receptionist's desk. So the thought was, let's see if they can provide at least some advertising, or if they have a section where they identify events, upcoming events that we can participate in. The Wildwood Gazette, as you know, is probably our other key element that goes out right before the event, beginning of September. It's the fall edition. And usually it's the cover page story. There's just a lot of information inside the Gazette that kind of talks about the event, and again, it just gives the details in terms of times and just a lot of good information. As you know, we've baked upon you at times to take the yard signs home and display them in your front lawn areas, or your friends' front lawn areas, or strangers' front lawn areas, wherever you can put them. We usually give those out much later in the year, starting sometime around September is when we bring them down. But if you want some now, we have some. We also have the posters and postcards getting finalized, so we'll be able to start spreading them around here in the term. There's always the risk of doing it too early and things get put on top of them, like some of the bulletin boards and et cetera, et cetera. So we have those prepared. So I'm thinking in June, we'll have the prints for your final review and action. Electronic message boards. Last year, we had hoped to use them. We had a road project that needed them, that took priority. Available. The new city administrator will be able to put them out on Taylor Road and Main Street, which is a great location by the Deerbirds. And in past years, we always put one up at Anniversary Park at Stricker Road and Plate Road, which is another high traffic area. And for the most part, feel it's a good utilization of them. So from that perspective, I hope to have one at least, if not two, and get them out about a week before. Some people don't like them, so we have to be accommodating and don't put them out too soon, so that it becomes a problem and it ends up getting to be much more than it should be. Shout out to Miss Jelling. She brought by the St. Albert Road Bulletin. Now I know how to contact the advertising component, and so something in the church bulletin. I have regular correspondence with several of the churches in town. They submit items for the e-newsletter, so I'm gonna kind of contact them. That'd be like Wildwood Christian Church, New Community Church, Living Word, and Bethel Wildwood Church. So I'm gonna send contact them, send them some information and see if they have something they can publish it. Announcements. The city's e-newsletter, we always have a lot of information in that. particular publication. And the nice thing about the e-newsletter, I can put as much in there as I want or as little as you all want, so to speak. But we already are advertising in the newsletter. We just have the vendors wanted. And then we're starting to build on that. So as we go through the next month or two, we'll start adding information about bands, children's area. So as we build through the summer, time we get to that point at the end of summer, early September, we'll have a pretty good identification of all the components and any changes that might come along. And finally, we've never really explored this to the extent we probably should, but as you know, the Post-Dispatch has their event publication called Go Magazine. We use that on Friday before the weekend with all the events, major events. So I thought it might be worthwhile to contact them and see what it takes to maybe get it in that publication. Again, is the regional newspaper and might be able to extend our reach a little further than we have before. The memorandum concludes from Kristen and I basically saying the only thing we really haven't explored in recent years is radio and television. And that's gotten harder and harder. In early years, we had a connection with Hidden Valley and KTVI Channel 2. And from that perspective, we were able to come back and get some publicity on the occasion through KTVI 2. That individual retired from Hidden Valley. And so from that perspective, we haven't been able to kind of replicate that. But I just don't know. It's every time we contact them, there's so many parameters that they put on it and timeframes and things like that. With the small staff that we have, it just doesn't seem to work out. But I mention it because if you all will realize the commissioners' strong feeling, you can certainly at least make the call and see what they say. Maybe things have changed there. I don't know. Hopefully they have. It makes it a little easier for communities to get information out about what they're doing and the fun events they're having. Finally, if there's anything that we've missed or any idea that you have, Kristen and I would be more than happy to add them to the list and begin that process as soon as we can. So far, that's what we've identified on the list of about 11. Again, radio, television, anything you'd like to add? Discuss it. Thanks.
I know Spectrum has where you can do your own little commercial and then, because I know we've done it for our pharmacy. And I think, I don't know, would that because it would just do this area they have where you just kind of make your own little thing and put it on, so.
We know a lot of the Spectrum people that the last couple of years, so we'll explore that.
Yeah, that might be something, so, and it would just come on, a little blurb,
I think especially if we could keep it super local, which obviously they know where everybody is
do.
because of
They-
IP
yeah.
addresses, yeah, but I think we have such good like organic growth that like the idea of keeping it. Like this Spectrum idea is a good idea if we can really geotag it, because that's kind of the bummer about television is, they're gonna get it all the way out in Wentzville, not that I don't love Wentzville, but I like-
They come in.
yeah, I love how we have a lot of people from the outside community that come to celebrate Wildwood, but I also love that it still feels like a small town event and like that feels really special. And so I think it's like such a balance of like, I've been to the Tower Grove Farmers Market and that gives me anxiety. So just like, how do we keep our sweet Wildwoodness, but also get a good crew?
I think
The
that's-
newspaper, I don't know if so many people get the newspaper anymore out here.
True.
The
The
Post
newspaper.
Dispatch. I mean, I finally after 40-some years, I don't get it anymore.
It's like a
Now, you went
love-hate
to-
relationship.
Yeah, and I went to Sundays and I just don't even get it anymore. I look online sometimes, but they do have it online. I mean, if people have the e-version, I don't know.
I went from paper to the e-edition because it just seemed like it got so thin and it was so little, it's easier to read actually, I think.
Yeah.
E-edition, so. But I just thought, I happened to notice the Go magazine and thought, well, that might be worth trying.
So you see that on the e-edition, that's where you pick it up at? Yeah.
Yep.
I think the list is good. Does anyone have any other thoughts or outlets or anything that we think we're missing as far as marketing efforts?
We contact Spectrum, but think I'd like to offer them, if it's acceptable to the commission, then we don't want to do this, quite frankly, but if they do some kind of local ad or ads for us, we offer them a booth.
Sure, yeah.
Just say, you know, you can come and meet their residents that you're now serving, answer their questions, or, you know, if you want to try to sell some subscriptions to.
I think especially now that we're not so concerned for space, now that we have our trusty location secured, I think that's, and I honestly think as a new Spectrum user, I feel like it's goodwill building. And we love an in-kind sponsorship, John.
Yeah,
Is Town and Style too far reaching or too expensive?
I see them in the grocery stores, so I know there seems to be people, when I go by, there always seems to be somebody picking one up, so.
So Ladoon News is always there, always in Dearborn. The
Yes.
Ladoon News.
We'll look into that. That's a good suggestion.
Anything else? Please?
Well, if you're superstitious, we're now at 13, so we might want to figure out one more before.
Or it's gonna rain for sure, yeah.
Say Ladoon News or
Yeah.
Ellen, whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah, my only other thought is if Rockwood does any sort of newsletter.
Well, they do send out their community thing for the summer camp programs and stuff. I don't know if they do any kind of advertisement in that at all, so.
We had the superintendent come 2 years ago. It was when he was new. It was his, I didn't think he had officially started the job yet, but it's very nice to meet him. I really like that.
Principal of Wildwood High School and Dr. King were here. They had won an award for the high school and there was a proclamation for them. And so Dr. King got there early, so I kind of twisted his arm and said, "We really missed you last year at the back to school party. We'd love to see you at this year's party." And he's like, "Well, just give me the date and I'll do my best." So I'm sure he says that to about 100 people.
I'm sure. Okay, good to know. Always selling, Joe. I love it. All right, moving on to parade considerations and components.
Again, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and members of the commission, as you know, each meeting, each month, we kind of update you on the parade and activities that the department has been undertaking under the direction of the commission members. Couple of things, in terms of the grand marshals, I talked to Mr. Luther's son, Bill, and Bill talked with his dad. It was overjoyed. Three grand marshals. So I got the confirmation from Mr. Luther yesterday or the day before. They're in. So it'll be 150 at the event. So
That's so
I said,
cool.
we'll make accommodations and since Mayor Bolin isn't going to be in the parade, maybe we'll have Officer DeGelder give him personal attention.
Absolutely.
So, but, and
That's
I've left
easy.
messages for Miss Von Gruben. About 2 months out of every, 2 weeks out of every month, she visits her grandchild in Indiana. I usually don't hear back, but I've left her a message and asked her to call me. I'm having trouble tracking down Mr. Fox. Met with a couple that are buying the property adjacent to his. And I said, "Oh, I didn't realize Mr. Fox was selling this." And he said, "Who's Mr. Fox?" And so they may have, so I'm working on it for you. So, and I'm sure once I talk to Miss Von Gruben, she may have some information.
That does feel like something that you
Joe?
would have
Yep.
finger on.
Her mom lives in Meadowbrook Country Club. Irene Fox.
Like I said, I'm just so accustomed to being at the end of now Madison Valley. I'm
Right.
surprised when I heard that, but we'll keep after it. Hopefully in June, I'll have confirmation from all three and we'll be set to go. And we're in our conversations today with Miss Huber, West News Magazine. She always does that little special part of marshals. So just the enthusiasm of Mr. Luther is going to be fun. So it was a great idea. So
I said that there was the video that on Channel 2 had played, and I sent Kristen the link for it to you guys, because it was really cute, so.
Yeah. with us.
If you haven't noticed, and I told this to his son, we appreciate their participation in the Hometown Heroes banner program. And Mr. Victor, father, in that photograph we now have on the Hometown Hero. He was about 13, going to war. And he was in the service for almost 20 years, I think it was. So it's just a great suggestion and I'm glad they're participating. So it's very exciting. So Grand Marshal, we're working on, we've got one confirmation, one call out, and then we're working on the third, but we'll get you an update in June. Hopefully we'll be all set to go. We completed the contract with the Desco Group, so we're in at Schnucks Wildwood Crossing again for the parade start. And as you know, we're going to do a few things a little different to help organize both the transport from City Hall to the Schnucks Wildwood Crossing site, courtesy of Officer DeGelder. And then also we'll have some more information for everybody down at the site. It's not as chaotic, let's say, as it was for that bit of time before the parade actually started. We are still reaching out to different bands that are willing to walk and play, be part of the parade. And as you know, we've always had a bagpiper and some type of jazz musicians. And so we're trying to reach back out to them. I don't know if we've heard anything back of late. Okay, but we'll keep at it. The security plan is in good hands with our county police department, Officer DeGelder. And for the most part, as you can see, we've completed a pretty good portion of the list already. And only things that aren't underway are those things that we do that last couple of weeks, like assigning spots for the parade participants, giving them their numbers, getting them in that order we need. We use the Rotary to help us do that. And then just getting out to the dignitaries, getting them involved. So we'll do that here pretty quickly. We always get a lot of commitments and then a lot of cancellations. We'll get that out as quick as we can. Maybe by June, we'll have something out. We always invite the state senator, the state representatives, the county executive, council member, obviously our mayor, and all of the city council members. So we try to spread the joy as best we can. It's always been the direction of the commissions. If there's any questions on the parade, Kristen and I will be glad to answer them along with Officer Zelda. So for one figure.
The only thought I had all of this thing is just keeping our ear to the ground of anything that's like new or time sensitive to add to our parade folks. Last year we had the little boy who won the, sorry, I don't. Lippy. And I know he was a late minute ad, but I also know that he was like, it was so great. And we were behind him. He was so delightful, but just, I know that was a late minute ad because it was something that had happened recently. So just keep our ear to the ground to see if anything fun like that comes up. If Blippi comes back or Blue's clothes or whatever. Bluey, kids love Bluey.
Is his family a Wildwood resident?
Yeah,
Okay, because I was thinking there's a couple of local Olympians going to Paris, but they're not from Wildwood.
you know, that kiddo was a Green Pines kid, so he's over in that little area.
I would take an Olympic from you, Adam.
Honestly,
If they were, yep.
So featured this morning on the news.
Nice if we could get maybe a local sports star or something like that. For years, we used to have baseball players and hockey players.
ran into someone at Deerbergs. I'm gonna tell you his name because I was not a Rams fan. Wait for it. It's gonna come to me. I'm gonna remember. There was a gentleman wearing an NFL Players Association sweatshirt yesterday, and I was like, do you work for the PA? He was like, I played football. We had a whole chat. We can talk about that offline. It was very exciting. I'll ask him.
But you don't know his name.
I got his phone number. His name was, I think, Will. I'm gonna look it up.
All right. Well, like I say, we've always offered it. Mike Bethany, he used to sign some baseballs that we gave out as, to people and things like that. So, but most have seemed to have moved out of the Wildwood area of late.
Mike Martz moved in, he lives in St. Albans,
Okay.
so. And I'm very good friends with him, I vacation with him all the time, so.
Think you'd be interested in joining the parade?
Send it. He's a really nice guy.
Certainly.
Yeah, so.
Did a wonderful thing for St. Louis, so it'd be
Yeah.
nice way to say thank you.
And his daughter lives here and lives in Wildwood. Yeah. Married to Lafayette grad. You can ask him. We can send him a note.
Who is he?
Mike, who is the head coach of the Rams.
Oh.
He actually took them to the Super Bowl in 2002
Okay.
or 2003.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl and then he became the head
Okay,
coach.
okay.
That was Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil was when they won it. And then the next time they
okay.
went 2 years later, Mike Martz was the coach.
By the way, the.
Shall I not have put something
But it was about to get cheated.
So you're one, you know, cut off my chest up.
Just gotta get some of the, we gotta get, Breeze to come back, we gotta get, there's Luke, who graduated with my husband, who plays for them, there's so many, we just gotta get them back. To come to,
There's a lot, Ryan Thomas, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot.
all right, that's a good assignment, everyone go find your local athlete. Awesome, thank you, I do feel like, we're in a really good place. Alrighty, moving on to updates of activities, commitments, and action. Kristen, is this you?
This is me. So we are moving along with everything. Our letter went out to the businesses in Wildwood as well as some of our contractors that were sent out. And our goal is $30,000, as we all know, for the sponsorship. And we are currently at $3,600. So we have received some sponsorships already. So they're coming in. We are doing it online, which is very helpful. So they're coming in slowly, but we're gonna keep on it. As we've talked about, Officer DeGelder is doing his thing with police services. We have a lot of items under our general items completed. We have all of our basics. So our layout, all of our general contractors, restrooms, fireworks, golf carts, and bistro lighting. Now we have them confirmed for our spot from last year. So we're all good with all them. And our bands are both all under contract. We're all good with them as well. And parade items, Director Vunich just talked about all those. So we still have that underway. Principia they have committed. So we're gonna change that, update that next month. Parade items completed, as Director Vunich talked about. We got the Schnucks Wildwood Crossing as our location. So we are moving along. Our vendors, we might have gotten a few more under the food since last month. And Rockwood United, Dolce Pops, and Heavenly Harvest are some new ones. So those are a few new ones from the previous years. And applications you see are all opened, we're ready. So we're waiting for them to come in. We did discuss reaching out to some food trucks, like as time goes on. Next month, I think we talked about doing in June. Concert items completed, we're good. We have our sound stage, our interpreters, bands, we're all good there. Kid items, Jolly Jumps, now that we're back at our former location, now we can get back to having a good showing of the bounce houses as well as our foam party. And we're getting that together now with a location. Our other completed items, pony rides, back on schedule. We have talked to Pam, she is on the schedule. So we won't be missing that. Booth commitments, it says 14 artists, as I just checked right before the meeting, we're at 16 artists. We did take some of Ms. Schultz's ideas from the John Burroughs and reached out to a few of them. There's some great artists in there. So
Anybody from there? From that
Not
pool?
yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, but that just went out.
Mm.
We
Oh,
just
okay.
reached out to them, I think, a couple days ago. So
Okay.
yeah, there were some really neat artists in there. So we're really excited about that.
Glad that was helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank you for doing that. And booth items completed. As you can see, all of our applications are open on the website, so
How's that going? The online sponsorship stuff and all of
I think well, and I really think I was a little concerned about the paying since there is a fee when you pay online. But we did give the option to mail in the check. So, you know, on something like that, we don't want them paying a fee, you know, on a large amount of money. So they're mailing in their checks, they're updating their logos. It's going well.
you
So
had anyone ask to do a paper application? That's great. I hope it's like, I hope you feel the like lightness of
I
it.
think it's really making things a lot easier. We will get to where we're gonna do like the little thermometer, 'cause that really helped us. That really got us jazzed up.
I love the thermometer.
So we'll get that going, but Katie's actually, she's our administrative assistant for planning and parks, and she's doing the sponsorships right now, so it's really making it super simple for her. Because it is a lot to track to make sure you have the logo and the, you know, the check and the form and all that, so it online, super simple. And nobody really seems to be having a problem with it, so we're really jazzed about that. Anything that makes things easier, we're in. So that is all going well, and as Director Vunich said, we've met with Ms. Hooper today from West News Magazine. We're gonna get things going on all that, do the same August, save the date in the August edition. Everybody going, and then the September we'll have the pull out. Social media, we met with Debbie Ward with Silver Tablet. Gave gave her the ideas, our normal stuff, plus Instagram reels and things that we talked about last month. So she's all up on all that stuff. So she's already started teeing up things for sponsorships and things like that to get word out on social media. So that's good. And the Green Park Art Fair, I believe we got somebody from that ad, an
Nice.
artist from that ad. So that was good. We are adding, how did you hear about us? So we're figuring out where these, where the leads are coming from. So that will be helpful. And we talked about the advertising and light pole banners. Hometown Heroes is up right now, and Music on Main is up right now. Which when we get to Celebrate Wildwood, we'll have those up. And our event poster has been completed, and we will supply those next month. Questions, let us know.
It's crushing it. I'm
I
doing great.
do think it's time that I have to tell you that I still have my yard sign in my garage. I'm so sorry. It's safe.
I do too.
Okay, great. I see it I'm down here so much and I think to myself, I need to bring that.
I keep it.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like I have to keep, I was literally here like 3 times this week and I thought about it every time, not once did I take it. Sorry, Joe. Great.
Madam Chair, at the next meeting, we'll get you the list of the right now 16 artists, the author, government agencies and the not-for-profits. So you can kind of see who's committed so far. That way, you know, somebody that you've talked to that you don't see on the list, you can let us know and then we can reach out to them.
The new alloy, the gym, bought one because I was in there working out, guys. Got my
Well-
51st workout in today. Since the beginning of the year. I only had 50 more for the wedding, so for my daughter's wedding. So yeah, and they told me they were going to do it. And I said I'd let them know if we're gonna do something in that that open time, because we just talked about maybe having the yoga people and stuff do things. So,
That would be really,
you know.
you said alloy, so it means ink. Have we, I know previously we've kind of told the folks who were on the main drag, like, if you wanna put a table out, go for it. But I didn't know if we had communicated that we are in their vicinity again this year, since that's a new development.
We have not, and Now with Alloy there, certainly they could do that if they chose to.
I think they got a booth though. They chose to go to it.
Benedetto's used to bring, we just set up a tent for them.
Yeah.
They'd be out there eventually. Milk and Honey, they always end up staying.
So they just have their
inside.
patio kind of open and, right, and then I don't know if Tim didn't do a booth last year, the Fox Yoga. What else is over there? Yeah, I guess that's everybody. That's the whole team.
So like I say, we'll always offer them. Due to the inconvenience, we'll always offer them something. If they want a booth, great. Because obviously we're taking their parking away, probably starting on Thursday. When the bistro lighting's strung but across Main Street. And then it's not till Monday morning. For lighting perspectives can get there and take it down. So we'll do our best to make them feel like we appreciate what they're accommodating.
Anyone have any other thoughts on Kristen's update? Okay, other considerations, t-shirts, fundraising.
Yeah, Madam Chair, thank you. Madam Chair and members of the commission. Last meeting, April, the department created a list for your all's consideration. Each of the items were discussed and ultimately the commission members agreed to them. So tonight, I'm just kind of updating you what we did between the April meeting and tonight. First and foremost, we'll be in the position to sell t-shirts at the first concert, 17th. And due to the production of the t-shirts, we internally had to make a couple of decisions. And I explained why we did those decisions, not necessarily with your input, but wanted to get the t-shirts produced and be available for that concert. And so we came up with the flyer that's on the back. We like the design of the shirt, a little different. But we thought maybe instead of having the tree in the middle, substitute it with the American flag. And it seems to stand out very well on that light gray or green t-shirt. So what we're going to do is sell them at tent where we offer free soda and water. And if you buy a shirt and wear it to the event, you get a $5 coupon for any food or drink vendor. And you're automatically registered for a drawing. And if you win the drawing, you get a free entry fee to one of our hikes or runs, or you get a free pavilion rental at your discretion. So doing our best to kind of spice up the event as we move from some concert series into September and the event. So the shirts will sell for $25, so we'll make a bit of profit on them. They're good shirts, so let me assure you, we would buy something that hopefully we just won't buy something that's inexpensive and doesn't last. It's not fair to the people that purchase them. So we hope you like the design.
That's great.
Great.
And see how it works out at the first concert. It's Dr. Chevegas, so we're expecting.
Be a great crowd.
Great.
So it'll be a lot of fun.
So when you sell them at the event, will you take the name then for the drawing, or will you wait till they show up at? Will they come to us at the celebration?
We're gonna take if they wear their shirt, they get the ticket at the city's tent at the celebration. If they buy the shirt, we'll ask them to fill out just their name and contact. And then we'll throw it in the hopper and we'll collect them all. We may do, if you all want to, multiple drawings. Instead of just one, maybe we do a handful, 5. And given there's 4 events, or maybe we do 4, a winner from each of them.
Okay.
And something like that. That's really up to you, and you just let us know what you'd like to do. As you know, we talked about having the band either before break or right after break, do some talking points to the crowd. Just, hey, if you like this event, put on your calendar September 21st. It's a Saturday. It's Celebrate Wildwood. It's a great event, that kind of thing. Hopefully convincing people to kind of come back and enjoy the day. But Celebrate Wildwood. The talking points haven't been yet developed. We're a little behind on that, but we do have a couple of weeks, so we'll have them ready. And what I'll do is Kristen, Stacy, and I'll put them together, and then we'll circulate them out to you via email. If you'd like to make any additions, deletions, or changes, just let us know. But we'll get that to you probably beginning of next week, so they're all set to go. This Saturday, we have our plein air event, and the commission again agreed that the winners of the event, so there's two winners in traditional, two winners, so to speak, award winners in photography, and then student awards. We're going to offer them a booth at the event, so they can sell their paintings or their photography, or basically be a part of it. So we're hoping that all of them take advantage of it and participate. If all were to go well, that would be 6 additional booths at the event. They're not revenue generating booths, but again, it's just a way to kind of get people interested, and a lot of them bring people with them, particularly the student winners, their families,
Yeah.
and friends and things like that. So it's always fun. So again, you all concurred with that, and that's that coming Saturday. We met with the market manager, Natalie McAvoy. Farmers Market starts the 25th of this month. She's fine with us being at the market as much as we want or as little as we want. I need to coordinate with all of you. I don't know if we should do the first Saturday of the month, the last Saturday of the month. I know we don't want to do all the Saturdays. Trust me, it's a grind. From that perspective, and I told her we'd be selling the Celebrate Wildwood t-shirts. We'd have some handouts about the event, and then we'll have some other city stuff that just if people are interested, or points of interest map for the Historic Preservation Commission. We even have a few of the books out there we sell. But we'll be part of the farmers market, and she was fine with that. There's no charge, and certainly we'll have the sponsorship information out there to see if we maybe can corral a couple of people to help us with the cost. So that's all set to go. And so I thought that maybe starting on May 25th might be a rush. So I told her we wouldn't be at the first market. So it's
Holiday
really,
weekend, a lot of people
it's
are.
more, yeah. So I guess I'll ask you all, what do you think? Do we want to do the first Saturday, second, third, or fourth Saturday of the month? I just think some regularity so people would know, oh, they're gonna be there in a month. I'll come back then.
Yeah, well, I'll say not the third because that's right after the concert.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or that third.
So first, second, or fourth Saturday.
I'm gonna look at this second really quick just to see.
It's really up to you.
Well, it seems to me that the closer we get to the event, the better we're gonna be. So better towards the end than towards the beginning.
I would say, I think that the second works, but then to Charlie's point, maybe,
Do it a couple times the last.
I was gonna say in September, maybe we do the second. It's the 28th, so maybe we do the 3rd and the 4th, the 16th and the 23rd, the 2 Saturdays prior, so that we can be,
So keep it fresh in our minds.
yeah.
It's really up to you. I'll volunteer to work one of them. I don't,
Yeah, us too, yeah.
yeah. So like, if you have an interest,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably better if there's 2 of us, just so you have somebody, if you use the restroom or go get a cold drink, water, whatever, come down to City Hall and cool off if it's a hot day. It's usually better if there's 2. I think we do June, July, August, September, and do an extra one. That's 5 times over the course of the next 5 months.
And then 3 at concerts.
Well, we'll take care of the concerts ourselves.
So if you make like a tub and put all our information, like, you know, well, I don't know how you pay. It will be a Venmo. I don't know how you'll do a square.
Big square.
So I don't, if you put all the, the t-shirts and the information, we could just come pick it to go, have it. And we know who's showing up to do it, but I don't know how you do the pay part. If you're gonna do squares, I don't know how you'll do that.
We have an iPad with Square.
I didn't make the assumption that you wanted to do the concerts as well. That was just me making the assumption that
I told you I would do it since I was pushing this.
I
I appreciate that, but it's also, it's just a lot, you know, I don't wanna take advantage. But everybody's welcome. We'll probably have an extra tent this year. Usually at the concerts, we have 2 tents. One for the drinks and then just one for everything else. This year, we'll probably have a 3rd tent so that we can do the sale of the items, the raffle registration. So you're not in the midst of all the kind of chaos. People are getting their drinks and things like that. But yes, the concerts are on the 17th.
21st.
Yeah, they're the 3rd Friday of each
Yeah.
month.
I didn't realize, is that every year that it's like that? We're literally trying to change our flights to see Dr. Shavegas.
It's a great job.
I know, he's my favorite from last year. I love the acoustic set. I don't wanna see it again for obvious reasons, but I loved it.
Well, we're gonna remind him to bring the computer.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll take no offense. So I have a great story if you have just a moment. Maybe I have the floor. So for many years, we did the concerts in the summer. And some of the concerts got really, really warm and it was hot. And some of the bands were like, man, this is tough. So we changed it around one year and we did movies in the summer. So we had 3 movies, big screen out there on the plaza area. And then we did the concerts later in the year, fall. We did a movie on June 21st. Didn't think about much when we set the date, but that's the longest day of the year. We started the movie at 10 o'clock.
Oh, I bet.
Kids were just wired by then.
Candy.
Popcorn. And it was just like chaos. And it's like, okay, we're doing concerts in the summer.
Yeah.
The problem with the fall ones is that we got rained out.
Yeah.
a couple Times, and that was kind of a bummer. I mean, you wouldn't even know till like 5 o'clock at night. We're
We
going to
got
rain
rained
out.
out one last year too, did I?
First one got rained out last year.
Yeah.
Very first one.
It was just one of those things that like the radar didn't seem to indicate it was gonna be a long steady rain, but it sure was.
I literally remember seeing you, Joe, out there in the rain, like
We had
walking
people coming
around,
to the concert.
and I was like, poor Joe.
I was hoping it like take mercy on me and stop, but it didn't. So, but if you want to do the concerts, that's great. We have a good number of volunteers, particularly for the first one. So if you want to just kind of check out the lay of the land first and then follow up, that's great. But we'll count on you for the farmer's market. Kristen did a good job of kind of updating you about our meeting with Debbie Ward of Silver Tablet Marketing. A lot of your suggestions we gave to her as well, just like Instagram reels, doing things that we haven't done previously and doing them in a more concerted effort for a longer period of time. So we hope that's ready to go. And then finally, the scavenger hunt. Stacy has been working on that. You mentioned that, I'm sure you have some ideas. So I'd kind of like to get together with you and have something ready for the June.
It was just the note from the Historical Preservation Committee about adding in the historical neighborhoods potentially too. So nothing even that exciting, just if we could get
We could do that.
some reference to the historical neighborhoods.
Yeah, because when I talked to Stacy this week, we had 21 locations of 21 clues. Last year, we had 25, so we could easily add, get back to that number and actually increase it.
And I'm sure so many of them are already, like the Pond School, I feel like is always on there and there we've checked the box, you know.
It's one of our favorites, but so knowing what you now have said, we'll work that in. So we'll have a draft. We won't go in closed session. We're sworn to secrecy once we talk about it.
Okay.
So I'll work with Zoom and
Honestly, I don't know,
yes, but we'll have something for you.
talk to the city attorney, maybe we can.
Yeah.
Changing.
Yeah.
My battery went dead in my eye. But so all the things you endorsed, they're all underway. And so hopefully
Outstanding.
we appreciate those efforts in your direction. And thanks for accepting the T-shirt design kind of sight
It
unseen.
looks so great.
Like
It was just, it's just one of those things like, oh, we need X amount of days to produce it. And it's like, okay, we gotta get this going then. Which we really want to hit the ground running. I think it'll be a great concert
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
And pray for good weather.
And there
There's any
will be
questions?
enough. There's like a lot of t-shirts, right?
Yes.
So are they available?
we get
When,
all
or
chance
when
to-
will they be available?
Yeah.
The T-shirts.
They'll be available for the concert, so all of you can wear them.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you get the first batch.
I might have to
It'll be our
sneak down.
Experiments, so to speak.
And I'm with my family, so.
Um. Like I said, I do appreciate it. And as you know, we value your opinion. We don't do things without your endorsement. So it was just one of those things that timing wise, we knew you wanted to do. This concert. It's a pretty good idea. Accepts it. So thank you again.
All right, looks like our next meeting day is June 5th, and if I'm right, that means we have 4 meetings between now and the big day. I know, I don't know how that happened. Great, I know that summer gets crazy with scheduling and things, so if you have any times that you know you're gonna be out, maybe we just can communicate those to Kristen a little bit earlier, so that way if we need to move to make sure we have quorum, we're not doing it at the last minute, considering we only have 4 meetings left, but hopefully now that we're back to being a fully stacked commission, we will have it. Anyone have anything else before we adjourn? Joe? Dr.
Sorry.
Mr. Bunick, sorry. Director,
Sorry. No, Joe's fine.
okay.
So today when we were meeting with Ms. Hubers, we were kind of just talking about, the theme for this year's event, past themes. And I just kind of offhandedly said, next year's our 30th anniversary. And she said, well, are you doing anything to promote that as part of this year's event? And so kind of do a teaser. It's like, oh, this is number 29, but guess what? Next year's our 30th anniversary. So I thought maybe if you all had any ideas, is that a good idea? Is it something we want to consider? Or you just want to stay with our 2 themes for the parade and the overall event? And kind of start that after the event in September when we get back together and kind of debrief and kind of look at how best to proceed for the 30th anniversary. We'll have a lot more opinions for our 30th anniversary from a lot of different.
There always are. I did, and this idea can go away. On my 29th birthday, I wrote a list of 30 things to do before 30. And they were all things that like took place throughout the year. So like one of them, I lived in Dallas at the time, was like, go to a Clyde Warren summer concert series that I had stuff to do all year long. So the idea of maybe 30 things to do between this Celebrate Wildwood and the next, and obviously we know a bunch of our events that are out.
Fun, yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of.
There's so much that we do, and there's so many, there's so many, so many things, It also feels like a way that we can promote our events too, like it feels like a very meta thing. Attend the plein air event in 2024. 5.
Well, we could do something like watch out where we'll gonna have a list of 30 things to do before next year. We could say that and then bring, say, keep posted on the website.
Yeah,
Okay, first month, do,
here are the
go to
30
Wildwood
things you
Pub
can
and
do.
Chug a beer. I mean.
So, yeah,
some
something.
things you could do. So.
And I think there's also ways that you can get people to submit their photos of completing their 30 before 30.
That's, and show them on the website or something.
Yeah,
It's like, show us what you've been doing. We'll post them and, kind of create. We get a 12-year-old chugging a beer. I'm not gonna post that. though.
So if you had, send all the kids in who were born the first year we were a city. So that would be like, so we could,
yeah, no, that's fun.
there's a lot of little things like that we could say, what was the first neighborhood that was established after we were a city that, that just.
That you, yeah, oh,
came,
like one of
you
those.
know,
I think there's a lot of, there's so much. And I think that also like the list can be more than 30 long. People can pick their own,
you can list the mayors of the.
Yeah.
In the last 30 years.
take a photo with the previous mayor.
Yeah.
I know Wild, I know him. I grew up with him in Indianapolis.
Like I tell everyone I know, my
Sure.
husband was mayor for a day.
Who was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
We still,
Grew up with him.
we still have the gavel.
He lived two blocks away.
So that's
from
my
me.
grand idea. it was really fun. Like I said, I did it for my 29th birthday. I copied it from my sister and it was really fun.
I mean,
There were a lot of things we could come up with.
Yeah.
We should
And this
put-
is just like small things that we do all the time, even if it's just like, eat dinner or get dessert at a Wildwood restaurant. Like, we're all doing that on a Tuesday anyways. I get to check the box.
Walk a Wildwood Trail
Yeah.
or
kind of like it. It highlights, and obviously you'll pick whatever we end up doing, but it could highlight just a lot of the successes of Wildwood over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Community park.
And it's a
Roundabout.
built-in campaign. Like, it's a built-in campaign for the year, which is nice to always harken back to.
30 times around a roundabout.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah.
without getting pulled over.
You can describe it, you can't.
Email MoDOT 30 times to fix the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Oh my God,
Like, we
they're
could
so
get
bad.
we could really get funded.
I'm so bad right now.
I know. But also I think there's things that people don't necessarily like realize happen. Like, I mean, I feel like people obviously know about the mayor, but like, I don't even know if that's true, if everybody knows about that. So I feel like those are fun things that like we can point people to engage on.
Well, and there's just, the only reason I know this is I publish it, but like Bethel Wildwood Church, they have a chicken dinner. I think it's now 47th year, 48th year, it's down at the church. It's just, it's just a great event. It's fun. I do a lot of postings for the blood drive St. Alban Road Catholic Church does. I mean, it's just, things like that. Do some maybe some community service, public service, things like that.
Should we all come prepared with 5 ideas for the next meeting or?
All right, that's your assignment.
Sold.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
What's talking to you
Thanks,
after
Ms.
you
Schultz.
leave?
No, to brainstorm that.
I love that. Awesome. Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. Anything else before we adjourn? Can I get a motion to adjourn? I think Sharon, you gotta do one last motion.
I'll make the emotion.
Aw.
In a second.
A second.
Perfect. Thanks, Karen. All in favor? I love it. Don't go.
Well, hopefully I'll